Hi, my name is Femi Owoeye. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Trashmonger Limited. Trashmonger is a waste collection and recycling social enterprise. We recycle waste into sustainable raw materials for manufacturing companies. Trashmonger is actually a youth-led organization, so 80% of our workforce are women, 20% men. However, 90% of all the total workforce we have are youths between the ages of 18 and 40 years old. I'm going to be talking about sustainable development and environmental stewardship, how it involves the Nigerian youth. Getting Nigerian youths involved. What is environmental stewardship? I'm going to be reading from my slides. I'm going to try to make them available to you if possible. So environmental stewardship is basically responsible management and protection of the natural environment for the benefit of the present and the future generation. So what this simply means is our activities and whatever we are doing, how does it affect the present generation, how does it affect the future generation to come. The earth we currently live in now was handed over to us by some generations before us. So it's our responsibility to also hand over a better environment, a better world for our children, for our children's children that are coming behind us. So that's basically, in layman's term, environmental stewardship, taking responsibility for your immediate environment and for the world at large. And then sustainable development, on the other hand, ensuring the needs of the present world are met without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So basically, what this is saying is, are we getting resources currently in a way that we are not sure that the generations coming ahead of us will actually have access to them? So take, for example, crude oil. We all know that the reserve of crude oil in the world is dwindling, especially in largely oil producing countries that have been producing oil for a long period of time. Do we have enough resources for our children to coming after us to actually have something to build their economies upon, and all those kind of things? So things like other natural resources like minerals, say iron ore, aluminium, and all those kind of things. So are we just extracting and using those resources without putting into consideration that there's a future generation coming ahead of us, and are we actually using them in a way that they can have something to fall back on when we are no longer here? What's our role as Nigerian youths in this conversation in sustainable development? Number one, we are agents of change. We can act as agents of change. And what this simply means is youths are they have the potential to drive sustainable development through creativity and passion. So as young persons, we are creative, we are passionate about whatever we do, and so with the energy that also comes with the youthfulness we currently have, we can easily drive change around environmental sustainability. We can drive change within our communities. We can drive change wherever we find ourselves, because we have the energy, we have the zeal, we have the passion, and we have the creativity, to do some certain things to catch attention of people and persons living within our communities. The other part is innovative solutions. So youths, also talking about creativity, we have a lot of innovative solutions around certain problems in our communities. We have, for example, when you think about mobility, we have the Bolt, the Uber of this world. There are a couple of new ones around now. So you see, we are now moving away from people having their own cars to themselves and driving, and then now we have like shared resources. So people share resources now. Example I used is the car hailing services, Bolt, Uber, and the likes. Things like that are ways youth can actually get involved. You have renewable energy solutions that are coming up here and there. These are innovative solutions to problems that we face on a day-to-day basis. that have environmental impacts. So for example, agriculture, for example, you have a lot of innovations around how people can move away from subsistence farming, moving into more mechanized system of farming. We have innovations around monitoring and tracking of weather patterns to ensure that people have maximum yield on their farmland. So innovations like this can actually drive environmental sustainability, because if a farmer knows, oh, I should not plant this time, or I should not burn whatever is on the field as waste. I can use it to make manure. I can compost and make manure. Those kind of innovations can then reduce the farmer's environmental footprints and things like that. The youth can also lead in terms of advocacy. So youths can lead advocacy programs for environmental sustainability. Like for example, Trash Longer, we have an NGO that does advocacy within rural communities, teaching people about environmental sustainability, climate change, and the likes. I mean, even in schools, primary schools and secondary schools, we carry out advocacy programs to tell children and young people that, oh, you can actually do something about the environment. You can recycle your waste, you can upcycle it, you can do composting with your organic waste and all those kind of things. You can even produce fertilizers in your house, things like that. I mean, education is a very important part of environmental sustainability, because what people do not know, they tend to look down upon. So if I don't have information about certain things that I can do to better my environment, to better my community, I mean, I shouldn't be blamed entirely because I don't have access to that information. So education is a way, it is a place that young persons can also participate in environmental sustainability, leading conversations around climate change, leading conversations around environmental stewardship and things like that. There are areas that young persons can participate in driving change within our community. What's the current challenges we face in the environmental sector of Nigeria? So we have things like deforestation. We are cutting down trees on a daily basis. I mean, the Lake Chad region is shrinking because now you have lesser trees, and then the impact of climate change is going to be felt more in those areas because you do not have crop cover to then mitigate the effect of the adverse effect of climate change that is encroaching into the northern part of Nigeria. And then when you come into the hinterlands, you come into the middle belt region, you have constant falling of trees, and which is going to exacerbate the effects of climate change. So you're going to be having things like desertification and desert encroachment within places that have never even experienced desertification before. The other part is pollution. You have air, water, soil pollution. People burn their waste. I mean, instead of disposing waste properly, people just tend to either dump their waste into drainages or burn them, and either of these practices have adverse effects. So because we say things like it's not in my backyard, out of sight is out of mind. Once the waste is gone, I mean, it's gone. If I burn it, it's gone. If I throw it in a drainage, rain comes and washes it away, it's gone from my end. But what happens is it's like a butterfly effect. You have you burn waste now, you generate CO2, you generate carbon monoxide. Somehow those get into the atmosphere, falls back as acid rain, and gets into our water bodies, and then we take this water into our system, and that way we are having. That's why you have the things like cancer and the likes being on the increase within our communities. The other part is burning waste directly. Disposing waste into drainages. You dispose into drainage, it goes and clog up a drainage way. There is heavy rain, and then leads to flooding. So you see, there's nothing like out of sight is out of mind when it comes to waste and pollution. There's always a repercussion, and then it might not happen to you, but it might happen to the community next to you. The next is climate change. I mean, the climate is changing. However, it's on an increasing level. It's at an alarming rate, because now you have the ice sheets on the North Pole and the South Pole melting at rates that have not been seen before. So you have now extreme weathers. You have high temperatures in regions that have never experienced those kind of temperatures before. You have recently, I think we had rain in the northern part of the country around this period, November period, which is, I mean, it is unusual in the north to have rain in those periods. Those are signs of climate change happening within our community. So it's already here. Like I said before, how can we engage Nigerians? How can we be engaged as youths in environmental sustainability and environmental stewardship? One, like I said before, education and awareness. You can be involved in creating awareness, creating advocacy around subjects that are of importance to you. It might not be waste management. It might be something else. It might be something that has to do with, I'm trying to get an example now off the top of my head. Outside waste management, because that's one of the major areas to focus on. So maybe recycling and the likes. There are other areas that you can actually focus on. Lobbying is another. It's one way. I mean, you have to lobby government. You have to lobby organizations to commit themselves, to commit finance, commit time, commit resources to actually maybe pass bills or things like that. Those are ways you can actually also get involved. Promoting environmental education and raising awareness among Nigerians. I tell you, Nigerians do not know the effect of, I mean, maybe we know, but the average Nigerian cares about survival. So there have to be a lot of education, sensitization within rural communities about the adverse effects of our indiscriminate nonchalant attitude towards environmental issues. The other part is capacity building, so providing training and skills and development opportunities in the sector. So you have areas like monitoring and evaluation of projects and all those kind of things. You can be trained in those areas. Because you find you don't find so many people who are skilled in environmental studies in Nigeria, and even those who are skilled do not have requisite training to attend programs like maybe the conference of parties and all those kind of things. I mean, attend maybe stakeholder programs to implement certain laws and policies within the environmental sector. And you can also create your own youth-led organization, like Trashmonger has done. You can create your own organization to carry out some of these activities, and also collaborate with other persons, because one of the major areas that I think that youths have to work on is collaboration. You can't do everything by yourself. For whatever you think you want to start, there is an organization already doing something in that light. So collaborate with other persons, collaborate with people, work around meeting people who have done things in the areas you're interested in, and see how you can collaborate with them. Some of the success stories of youths in sustainable development is, we have Eco Warriors Club. It's a youth-led organization that promotes environmental conservation and sustainability. We have Green Generation Initiative. They empower Nigerian youth to take action on climate change and sustainable development. We have Susty Vibes. We have Project Clean Earth. I mean, I can name lots and lots and lots of them. There is Trashmonger, there's Eco Bata. We have lots of them. We have Garbage In, Value Out, Jivo. There's a couple of youth-led organizations who are doing amazing things in the environmental sector. So yes, we need more young persons to come into the sector, because we need the energy, we need the innovation, we need the collaborations to be able to make more impact in the sector. Initiatives and programs for youth involvement in sustainable development. You have the National Youth Policy, which includes provision of environmental education and youth participation in environmental decision making. Thankfully, one of the House of Rep members now is a young person. I forgot his name now. I think Honorable Tessa. He used to be a member of the Recyclers Association of Nigeria, and he's he currently chairs the House Committee on, I think, environmental matters. I'm not sure what exactly, but I know he chairs one of those committees. You have a lot of youth-led NGOs coming up as well. Government grants and funding. So the government is now seeing that young persons are at the forefront of making some of these core decisions, because what you found was before, now you find older persons making decisions for us as young persons in the sector. So now we have more young persons attending conference of parties, attending policy drafting sessions, attending stakeholder meetings and consultations and all those kind of things, which is actually good for young persons. And this is the best time for any young person to get into the sector. Partnership and collaborations for environmental stewardships. We need to collaborate with communities, engage international cooperation, engage public-private partnerships. So we have things like, Food and Beverage Recyclers Alliance. It's a public-private partnership because the NESRA, which is the, I think, National Environmental Standards Regulation Agency or so, collaborated with the Food and Beverage Recycling Alliance. So basically, the Food and Beverage Recycling Alliance is a consortium of companies who are like the largest polluters, if I put it in that sense, largest producers of plastics in Nigeria. So you have the Coca-Colas, the Nestle, and the likes coming together and say, oh, we want to take responsibility for the waste we generate from our process. So whatever kilogram of waste that we can mop up from the environment, we take it out, and then the government also participates in that process. So there's a couple of ways you can actually come in if you understand some of these things. So public-private partnerships, intergovernmental organizations coming together, you have international organizations also, and then you have the government itself. It's important to know that as a young person, you have to build your capacity. You have to attend trainings, attend conferences, whatever you can do to improve your skill level, because it's important to have some level of skill set if you're coming to the sector. You would be burnt if you don't have some level of understanding of some certain terms, terminologies within the sector. So it's important to also state that you have to build capacity as a young person coming into the sector. What are the benefits of getting youth involved? You have positive impact. So youth involvement can lead into positive environmental change and sustainable development. Nigeria has a population around maybe 200 million persons. Over 50% of that population, or close to 50%, are young persons. So, I mean, over 50%, yes, are young persons. So, imagine getting youth involved, getting involved as a young person. You're going to drive a lot of change. You're going to be engaging youth in environmental stewardship, fosters leadership skills and empowerment. So as young persons get into the sector, their skill level is also improved. They are they are advancing their careers, and their leadership skills are also increasing. Education and skill development. Young persons participating in this sector provides opportunities for learning and acquiring valuable skills, similar to improving leadership skills and things like that. In conclusion, it's our collective responsibility as young persons, because the older generation have done their bit and they are going. We as young persons have a crucial role to play in achieving the sustainable development goals for Nigeria. Now we are looking at we are closing the sustainable development goal by 2030, I think. So it's important that young persons get into this now, take responsibility, and collaborate with other young persons to inspire the future. Youth involvement in environmental sustainability and stewardship sets the foundation for a sustainable future. To getting involved as a young person guarantees that we have a future to live for our children yet unborn. I hope you have a call to action to support whatever initiative that's around you. If you cannot start yours, support whatever is going on around your community. Get involved in programs around environmental sustainability. Volunteer. I mean, I cannot overstress this. It's important to also volunteer as a young person because you have the energy, you have some free time, I mean, on your hands. So volunteer. Look for organizations who are really doing things around environmental sustainability and volunteer. It's going to go a long way in helping the cause. I think I'm going to stop here. I just need to say that support and empower young persons around you who are doing stuff and also be part of the change for the future. Thank you very much.